Yeah, my Filthy Queen Majestic vacuum cleaner, an American machine which we did get and do get, I think, somehow, somewhere in the UK. This one I swapped for a Bagless upright Bissell with another vacuum cleaner collector, and it has now been fully stripped apart, fully cleaned, washed, repaired and popped back together. Let us see if that was worthwhile or if it is still not very good. Let's have a look. Yes, hello, my vacuum cleaner and massive American canister chums. How are you today? Yes, this, I mean, I'm going to call it a big old beast, even though it's not really that heavy. It's compared to some cleaners, still quite lightweight. These tools are probably what gives the machine its reputation, if I just remove some of them. Yeah, this version that I have, I think should come with an entire second set of at least a wand and floor head. I don't have that. All I have is this electric hose here. And I mean, the wiring starts off on the outside. If you remember, mine was split on the outer flex. I have Q-bonded that together, and it might last at least 2 or 3 plugs in there, you know, before it snaps again. So that is how the hose starts. The wiring comes out and disappears into the hose, and mine's not awful. I can see some of the folds, I don't know, starting to open up, but they're not. So I'm going to leave that as it is. All of this cleaned up very nicely indeed. What I did do was, on all of the power connectors here, I sort of pushed the connector itself in a little bit on itself, and what that's done is enable these plugs to now be a really nice tight fit. It was all quite loose before, and I mean, it's still not a lovely plug now. I did want to completely modify it all to take a figure of 8 IEC3, I think it is, connector, and I could do that one. We'd have had to chop that and put another end on it, but this hose end here is quite small, so I would have struggled to get anything else in there. Then this would have all been quite easy. So yeah, it is completely and utterly stock. On the tools, really, this is the floor head. It looks quite good. Do need to find a better belt for it, I think, so I'm sure at some point later on in this video we'll take the bottom off of this. This is perhaps the bit that it's come up well. It's perhaps the bit that is least long for this world. The best bit has been the machine. Let's have a look at that. For such a big lumbering thing, it does put itself around very well. These 4 casters are very nice. In fact, we can take the machine mildly. Oh no, it does clamp itself in. Okay, we'll have to you can take all of these bits off. We'll do that in a bit. I hadn't actually fully realised that these clamps do clip onto this bottom bit, which is good, because otherwise it would fall off constantly, like it was doing on me before I clipped it on. So we shall unwrap the cable, which I haven't really changed. It's still the same flex as it was. Very easy to change the flex on one of these though. I have my 3 tools. I have Q-bonded up the crack in the upholstery brush. Good enough for anything I'm going to want to do with it. Clean the dusting brush, although it is literally shedding its bristles like a cat. So yeah, not too long for this world. And then, well, we can take off the tool holder. Yeah, mine does have that broken crevice tool clip, which is a mild shame because I don't have all the tools I should have. There's plenty of space for all the ones that I do. And then we can see, well, I think this looks a lot nicer without the tool cavity. I'm happily just pop these in the loft and never look at them again, because this is lovely. I mean, oh, it does need perhaps a little bit of a wipe down. It is dusty and fingerprinted, but yeah, this is the top of a Filthy Queen without its base. Without its base, without its tool holder. And yeah, it's really, really lovely. Let's plug it in. And I'll, well, show you how it sounds. It did sound okay. I haven't touched the motor. The motor is mint. And it sounds really good. Oh. all of the exhaust venting has been cleaned, so it is all nice and shiny. And that sort of is the outside done. This is where the standard parts of this machine do perhaps change, because at the minute, one of the reasons it's so powerful is because it has been hacked. I have, for better or for worse, fitted a Hepaflo into this machine. So yeah, at the minute, I am currently waiting. I do have one. I should be picking up later on this month. One filter cone, just so this has got something in it to be a filter. We have the emergency mesh filter here, I guess. If we take this out, oh come on, longest screw, there we go. We have our emergency filter there, and this is the bit that was damaged, and apparently it's a little bit common. All around there, it's basically cracked. You can see my very clean attempt at gluing it back on, which has helped. Well, has helped. It has done it, in fact. The problem with it is, when this bit screws onto there, it's only screwing into that middle bit, and so it pulls this whole bit up, and I guess mine just cracked over the years. But you sort of need this bit on, I found. I was sort of hoping that I could just run the whole machine without it, but without that cone, this top bit doesn't really seal properly, and it'll clamp down. Right, it does work. Oh. I was struggling to get it to clamp down a little bit. Well, that does do the job, but again, I would rather have a filter in it. I would rather not just completely trash all of the original parts from this machine. So for now, you can't put a lot of dirt in it. So yeah, on this, you've got to just do it basically so it's just tight enough and no more. It's very, very annoying. So yeah, this will be fine. We open this bag out, we can see that, yeah, it is a Hepaflo. What I've done is, the swivel caster set comes off now. It's just a pneumatic hose end that I have cut down because you have to for the triangle to fit. That's a bit of a pain in the bum, really. And cut off, well, took the rivets out of the little diverter. So you could put this back to stock. I do have the diverter valve sat over there, actually. We'll get it out in a second. But that's not very fun, is it? We've Hepa-modded it. Again, you've got to have, it's sort of like a Hoover Celebrity. You have to have the bag on the edge so that the cone does go into the middle still. And then it clamps itself down really well. And has no end of suction. So, let's get the hose, etc. back together and give it some carpet action. If I get some carpet out with some pile, we can see how well this Powerhead does work. And it works really, really well. The belt's not actually as bad as I feared it might. Here is the underneath. I shall just pull out the connection from the vacuum so it's a bit safer. Yeah, the belt isn't actually as stretched as I thought it was. What I've done is I've flipped it round so it's got a bit more of a grippy edge. And that's easily working. Wooden brush roll, quite soft bristles. Hilariously, a Dirt Devil handy motor. I think the belt spindle / armature is a little bit different, which is a shame, but the carbon brushes are really low on it. So I am hoping that I can get a Dirt Devil handy motor and refit at least some of it to that machine. But if we take the belt off, you'll see that, yeah, it's just a standalone thing. sounds absolutely terrible as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a shame that the belt spindle's different, but the armature is very good. So I'm hoping like maybe at least better carbon brushes and perhaps a new bearing, although I did grease it up. Or that's just what they sound like. Why I thought maybe it could do with a new belt, because, oh, this isn't going to go on at easily from this angle, is it? Because again, the tension might help. Oh, there we go. Got to take the brush roll out, folks, to get the belt on first. This is a bit of cardboard that seems to act as the only firewall to stop the dirt from going into the belt area. So that's good, isn't it? No edge cleaning bristles at all, even on the side that's a bit closer. That's still miles away. Oh, come on. So you have to first align the end cap and then align this lovely piece of cardboard. Then align the other end cap. You can see why nobody bothered, can't you? Makes a Kirby seem reasonably easy to look after for a novice. There we go. Pop that bit that side. And yeah, there's our brush roll on. You can tell this is an American machine because all we have are some wire nuts holding all of the electrics together. Good old US of A. And yeah, we can pop the base plate back on. I did peel the sticker off the back, and look, you can see yourself how shiny and clean the whole base plate would have once looked. Oh, when this thing would have no doubt cost thousands of pounds. I don't know. I know they're probably thousands of dollars, aren't they? How much were they in the UK? Comment down below if you know the RRP of these back in. And again, I've seen 3 dates ranging from 1997 to 2005, I think it was. So who knows how old this machine actually is, or if it had a replacement motor in its time. And that's why the motor has a bit of a weird date stamp. So yeah, floor head works as well as it will do for now. I think we're going to have another video on this one day where we perhaps improve on that a little bit or hack another floor head to fit, including the power. But for now, that can stay like that. Let's just check that does still work. It works fine, but the best thing about this machine now, whether they're like this when they're not Hepaflo'd or not, is just how much airflow it's got. We're going to crack this head. Yeah, so much airflow. It's just amazing. And now I don't have to worry about it being bagless and those very expensive paper cones going all horrible every time I don't use it for more than a week. So what do you think of our Filthy Queen Majestic? I very much like it, a little bit more now that it's bagged. It's quite powerful. Sadly, the brush roll is of its time, but I think it would still do well, especially now it's got a load more oomph behind it to clean things up. There's probably going to be a part 2. We need to perhaps try and make that head last a little bit longer than it's going to. Fit a nice filter cone, or show you that I have fitted a filter cone to it, and yeah, who knows, hopefully it can join the rotation for 12 vacuums in 12 months. Although again, we need to try and bodge a floor head to it that is straight suction, and it's not quite 32mm in there, so it's a little bit difficult. And there's something else I want to do to the hose, so stay tuned for that, and let me know down below if you've ever bag modded one of these Filthy Queens and any other mods that you might have done to them that could be cool to do. Let me know down below. But until the next time, I and some other filthy queen that we can turn into a clean queen will see you soon. Bye bye.